Okay, how about this here? In the last year, how many community-based town halls have you actually held or attended community-based town halls in Indianapolis? Not cops, the community. How many?
I've not been at any in the last year.
Whoa, stop. Hold up. See, now, hold up. I'm up against a break. I'm gonna hold you over for one more. Cause see, I'm trying to figure out, all this work you say you doing, I need to know what that work is. Because if you say you want to fix Chicago, and you ain't had not now in a year in Indianapolis? Not one? Okay, hold on. We'll be right back on Roller Martin. See, Philip, you want to have the conversation on Black-owned media. Oh, you having it. We'll be right back. No, we'll be right back, Philip. I'm going to give you some time, Philip. We'll be right back.
No, because it's not even a conversation.
I'm going to give you some time, Philip.
At this point, it's not even a conversation.
Most people, see, I told y'all. See? Don't mess with a grown-ass man.
Welcome to another episode of the Black Briefing Podcast. We are on episode 9.
Hey.
Wow. I'm so proud of us. Look at us. And somehow we lined back up too with like the months.
Oh, yeah.
It's about to be September, even though we started in February. It worked out somehow. Whatever.
Right. Okay. Somebody's keeping up.
But anyway, thank you for joining us. I'm one of your hosts, Samantha Douglas.
I'm Wild Style for show.
And I'm Greg Merriweather.
Wild Style for show.
For show.
For show. This episode, I honestly, in my gut, I feel like it's going to go fairly quick. We do have a lot less topics this time because it's been a little slower comparatively to the rest of the year. You don't think so?
I think it's been a lot of information. I just think it's probably been harder to decipher what we kind of wanted to capture, but it's been a lot going on.
You think?
Yeah, it's a lot going on. I think just the issues are more complicated now.
Oh, well, okay, fine.
Yeah.
I felt like it was less going on, but maybe there's more. Since we've been here, I've went to French Lick and back.
Oh, y'all. How did you like Bo Bai's speech?
I was not there for Bo Bai's speech.
Oh, okay. Bo Bai.
But yeah, I heard it was uneventful. I heard it was, a basic politician speech.
I mean, but the way they were talking about it online, I thought it was the second coming of Christ. But
listen, let me tell you, Democrats love a
Messiah, white savior,
great white hope. They love. Funny. I was actually going to say they love what they think is a shortcut.
Yes,
they love what they think is a sure way to victory.
Put the Biden name on it, and everybody's just gonna line up.
Yeah,
like as if that worked in 2016.
Like the last strategy was, we can't get all of these, voters. We need some Republicans to vote our way for governor. So let's just, put a Republican on the ballot. That didn't work. And so now we're like, the Biden name. That's strong. Let's do that. And I'm not going to lie to you. I think, as always, we fail to keep up with the current time. We have no finger on the pulse because our ground game is absolute trash. And so, yeah, we just continue to make bad decisions. But anyway, it's not even a topic we're going to cover today.
Dang, I'm thinking we probably did miss out on some things.
We could probably still cover that because
we should talk about what happened at the Jewel Center.
What happened at the Jewel Center?
Oh, the meeting between Governor Braun and
the interministerial IMA.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
We definitely should talk about that.
Zoot suits were in effect,
sir. Disclaimer.
There's a disclaimer at the top of this episode. Greg speaks for himself.
Flashing disclaimer alert.
Save me, daddy.
What do you would just want to talk about it now then? Because it's not on our list.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
I thought I really I've never seen our prosecutor in that realm. When he was like, the governor has had a lot to say about him, but he's never met him. And I thought that, whoa, Ryan Mears came. He didn't even have on Jordans that day, I don't think. He had on some different shoes. Look like, how you put on some fighting shoes?
The prosecutor prosecuted that day.
Yeah, he did.
He started asking Governor Mike Braun the questions like, well, what do you think needs to be done? And then
he said specifically, what is it that I should do? He said, no, don't give me. He said specifically,
what should I be doing?
What should I be doing?
Yep.
And then Mike Braun, being the former Democrat that he is, started him hollering.
Oh, good gracious of life.
Started him hollering at everything, backtracking, backpedaling, everything, and couldn't say nothing. Couldn't articulate any particular piece of policy or anything.
Yeah, it was quite interesting to see a few of the people who sat on the panel. So I thought, I just thought it was interesting. To me, it looked like a bunch of people who was trying to get in the good grade.
People, right?
You know what?
That's
from my perspective, and everybody can't say this, but I'm going to say it. It looked like a bunch of N-words that was trying to get in the good graces of the governor. It looked like I saw a couple people that was running across the stage.
Approval.
Those who could not run, but that rolled across the stage to try to shake hands with the governor as fast as they can so that they can advertise their consulting business. But that's one person.
The disclaimer needs to be flashing for post-production reasons.
Let me roll on over to the governor's hand.
Oh my goodness. It was
boom, 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 boom.
Yo, this is not even on our list. I guess I will add this.
Maybe it should have been down.
I'm definitely gonna add it to the ticker now.
But I will say, like, they keep an open door policy. I think some of them call Joe Hogshead as a friend, and he comes to their breakfasts, and except for the days when he doesn't have a plumber come into his house that nobody else can wait for. I remember that time. I swear to God, that happened. It's like he had to call in because he was waiting on the plumber to go to the house, and I guess nobody else could wait.
Who said that?
The mayor one time for why he missed one of the breakfasts there.
I bet it's the same reason how he got that busted lip.
Probably trying to do the
taking out the trash and some slips, some some slides.
Being mayor of Indianapolis is a dangerous game.
It's a dangerous job. No, he didn't, mayor. It was me who took out the trash that day. Shut up, boy. Get in the back. No, he didn't, sir. Get your back.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man, they took the trash out in 30 years, man. Please.
I like the prosecutor pushing back on the governor.
I do. That was impressive to me.
It was. But I do have some concerns with our prosecutor's office, though.
I've had some more recently.
Yeah, that I think, unfortunately, because people in the community, and for a variety of reasons, I think one of them is the fact that he wears J's and stuff. But I think for a variety of reasons, folks just tend to like him and just assume that he just understands and he just knows and he just, and you can point to good things that he's done. I don't want to take it away from any of that. But I am finding challenges in places where I feel like he's more focused on his political career and that future than he is on being a prosecutor here in Marion County and the things that we would need from a prosecutor here. And that's legitimate concerns that I have. Also with just transparency and communication with community. I think we can technically see him or talk to him or whatever, but I think in real spaces where to have these conversations about the challenges or some of the critiques and stuff with his office, we don't even have space for that.
I'm so glad that you said that, because I remember at one time being able to talk to him as long as you were in agreement. And it feels to me a lot like Joe Hogg said, because once you disagree, there's nothing else to say. And I don't care if it's one time. The minute you disagree with him, you are off the list, and he no longer wants to talk about anything else. So listen, you can't relate to me just by wearing Jordans.
Facts.
I'm just not that guy. So when
Facts.
it's all said and done, if I can't have a conversation with you about my perspective on what I live 24 hours, 7 days a week,
Facts.
then there ain't nothing for us to talk about. Don't cut me off because I don't agree with you sometimes. It's like still be able to have that tough conversation so that we can come to some conclusion that may bring about progress.
I had an exchange recently that was concerning, honestly. I didn't like it. I didn't like the way it felt. I'm hoping we can make it right, which is why I'm not sharing that, because I think it's normal for somebody to be in defense mode, especially when you have so many folks coming at you at the present time. And I'm going to chalk it up to that. But
he could wear some New Balance sometimes.
He could.
Or he
could wear some New Balance sometimes. And two, I mean, we can have thoughtful conversations about criticisms or feedback about your office without you wanting to shut it down. You know, like that's.
I think so. My issue is he's gotten a lot more political.
Yes.
Giving safe answers. And I was actually physically present at the Herman Whitfield III. It was a trial for the officers that killed him.
Mm-hmm.
And I do not feel that the prosecution put the best foot forward, or that this wasn't basically a planned theatrical spectacle for what was going on. And we haven't had a lot of answers on the several. I mean, it was 2 or 3 officers that shot people in the back.
Officers that need to be charged.
Yeah.
Yes. Officers that need to be charged, avoiding cases that we should be prosecuting here in Marion County. That's always a criticism that I have about the Drajon Reed case, that it should have been prosecuted here.
Mm-hmm.
Like to send that case anywhere else in Indiana is wild to me.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just think
the
about it.
vast majority are all white.
Yeah, it's wild. Like that. And I'm not saying that should go a different way or this way or what. I'm not sharing my personal opinions on that case. I'm just saying that it should have been prosecuted here, though, in my opinion. And if it shouldn't have, communicate why. Because I didn't see any of that. That's what I would like more of. But I'm with you. I think, especially as of late, we've seen a lot more Ryan Mears, the politician, and a lot less Ryan Mears, the prosecutor. And, and at the very least, I think he should be able to answer that. I asked him at a town hall recently that the council here hosted that, like, what does he say to criticism about, like, our criminal justice system is a revolving door and blah, blah. And, when certain folks are bringing up these concerns.
It's a talking point. It's
definitely
talking point.
It's definitely a talking point. But when I asked him how, I said, but you came in here and talking about a 90-some% conviction rate. I'm like, how do you respond to that? Like how do you view that? And his response was basically like, I'm not paying attention to the haters. And it's just like, that's not what I want. I want hardcore facts. And your conviction rate has to do with the cases that are actually tried.
Facts.
So I would have loved to hear data about, listen, this many cases come in, this many cases we convicted. The slow up on these kind of cases are because of this. There's other complex reasons, like we have judges that blah 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 blah.
I mean, there's so many balls dropped. I mean, like
like I would have liked to have heard some of those.
He needs to explain that better. Like there's an article, and I know like he's got to be Brian Mears, the politician, has to be careful about who else he's throwing under the bus. But there's a recent article, and the family didn't get justice for their loved one that was murdered. And of course, because people can't read, they in the comment section blaming Ryan Mears and all this. But the article clearly stated that IMPD did not get the investigation to Ryan Mears' prosecution team before the jail released them. And then they had to apply afterwards, but like stuff like that.
But we need to, and that's just an actual fact of the case that you should that should just be shared. Like we have to quit assuming people. We are not reading.
They're not reading. They cannot read.
That's why I don't. That's why I don't know if you guys have ever noticed in our description of these videos, it's not a description of what we actually talk about. It is a list.
Yeah.
It is a list of topics and links, because I'm not going to go through all of that when you're not going to read it anyway. So it's just like, if you want to read more about it, here's the links. If you don't, whatever, you can listen to the podcast. But we have to start putting that stuff, making that stuff more accessible. But I'm with you. We have to do a better job at explaining. And two, it helps us as advocates on the ground know where we should direct things.
Mm-hmm.
Like I bring up this one case as an example all the time. The guy who he killed somebody, they locked him up, and then by the time they had the funeral, the judge had reduced his bail, and he got back out and shot up the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I bring that case up, it's like now a lot of people started to blame the police, and I'm like, y'all, that is clearly not a police thing. They locked them up, right?
It's not the prosecutor.
And then so then when you know more, you're like, oh, well, why didn't the prosecutor stop? And then it's like, prosecutor did fight for it. Why that judge decided to reduce his bail.
You see a lot of stuff
God
that goes
knows.
on with Marion County judges where
Yep.
they release these people, but everybody blames it on Mears. I think Mears, I understand, he's got haters, but you also have to explain things better.
Yes.
And sometimes I think he does enjoy a better relationship with police than he had before, but the police be messing up too.
Yes. And that's
You
my
need to tell
point
us.
is like, you don't have to necessarily throw people under the bus, but as you educate people on the process, we can pull out all of these things. Well, Ryan Mears said they did XYZ. Like, you can literally talk about the things that you did in that process, and that'll let us know, okay, the failure was in this place of the process or that place. So those are some of my critiques, some of the things I don't like. People you can be mad at me, you can hate me about it, whatever. But I'm gonna tell you this, I'm going to be honest. Whether I like you or not, whether you're Democrat or not, whether you're whatever, I don't care. If I think that you could be doing something better or more effectively, I will say it. So there's that. Are we done with the breakfast with Braun?
Yeah, absolutely. That was a good one.
Okay. So number 2, the redistricting. So obviously this is something that's going on nationally. Trump is going around trying to redistrict Republican states so that they can have less Democrats, more Republicans to try to flip at the midterm, right? So they're trying to flip these seats and get more Republicans into Congress so they can have more of a majority, because they already have a majority.
Yep.
They're trying to get more of a majority, especially in the House. So...
And this typically happens in the census year.
Yes, it
Yes,
typically
so, yeah.
happens every 10 years with the census. And it happens with the census because it's based on population.
Correct.
So in Indiana, for example, we have roughly 700 and something thousand people per district. So that's why you see District CD7, Congressional District 7 is so small on the map, but it's because we are so population dense that we have as many people in that small little rectangle as they do in one that's like this big in rural areas, right?
Yep.
And that's the fact of the matter. I think that's also the danger in redistricting here. I think our Republicans in the state house have shared that that they oppose this. I think they're worried about how this happens financially, but I think very accurately, they should be worried about what happens if they get rid of 2 blue districts, create 5 purple ones, and we end up getting an extra seat.
Yep.
Democrats end up getting an extra seat out of this.
Because the reality is, like, the maps are drawn where most people are safe. So if you draw them where, like, everything's purple, then all of these people got to work.
That's real.
You got to
All
work
of these
every
people.
2 years. Don't nobody want to work every 2 years. Well, I mean, we see how afraid our city councilors get for every 4 years, and they don't have much competition. But state Republicans and the congressional Republicans, they have to work.
Yeah.
Yep.
They don't want to do that.
So one of the articles I have listed below, they have so Politico actually wrote about some polling they did with folks. So most Republicans in our state are opposed to this, according to this poll. Most people in general are opposed to this, according to this poll. And there's also, I linked another article too, where they talk about they want to kind of target the Northwest. So basically for this
Finish
to work
the Gary
out.
takeover.
Yeah.
That's what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh, the Gary takeover is real.
Yeah, it's up there in Lake County. So Gary, Hammond, all those
Yeah.
areas up in that northwest corner of our state, they can split that. Most of the maps that I've seen proposed, it kind of splits them in half, so it only divides them between two. And again, I think that's a little dangerous. Mervan's race was pretty close. That's who's up there now. That's the congressman up there now. He's a Democrat, clearly, but Mervan's race was pretty close. But I've heard from Republicans that that's because they happen to have a really good candidate that last time. They don't think that those are numbers they can necessarily continue to duplicate if they were to split this. I don't know. I think in our state in particular, we don't have as much to worry about as in other states. I think like the way they were able to redraw Texas and lose 5 seats.
We already have nothing.
Yeah. There's
there's almost nothing left for them to take.
Yeah. No, really. And if you pizza cut, because Marion County, CD7, you would have to like pizza cut us to outnumber us. And that's all the proposed maps I've seen. I might post them and put a link to that too. But all the proposed maps that I've seen by Republicans, pizza cuts basically Marion County. And even still, you're playing a dangerous game. And Marion County could still, that chunk at the tip could outweigh those Republicans, specifically in those, what would be the northern 3 districts of Marion County.
Yeah.
So where you have Hamilton County becoming more purple, you have like all of those.
Hamilton is
pretty
much
blue. Yeah. And so all of those areas, so that's what I'm saying. You get rid of CD7, but then you end up creating at least 3 purple districts, probably toward the north of Marion County.
Which means they have to put a lot of money into these districts.
A lot of money. And I think you lose 2 of them. I'm not,
Yeah.
I think.
I agree with that.
I think we
do you
gain.
really want to take that chance?
And do you really want to take that?
I think,
Yeah.
I think, not to jump all over the place, but I think the implications will hit really hard nationally.
Mm-hmm.
That, I saw a map where California virtually turned blue, just entirely.
No, so he did. So Whatsamajig did. So
Yeah.
As soon as they passed the new districts taking away 5 seats in Texas, Gavin Newsom signed a thing to take away 5 of their districts in California.
Yeah.
So to replace them, basically.
And California ain't playing because they don't have the same problem.
They don't have the same problem. Yeah, they can draw them away.
They was pretty much playing fair.
I think it'll have a.
Yeah.
I think that it's a dangerous play for Republicans, because I don't think that. And then again, when we look at the temperature of the country, I think there are a lot of people who were once gung ho about a lot of things who are now changing their views.
Yep.
So I don't think it's a wise choice to do it, but I think that they will see that after this, that it's not. I don't think it's going to work.
You might fall harder.
I think they will fall harder.
Can't remember if I said it here, if I said it on Cameron Riddle's show, but man, I lost my point that quick. Ain't that crazy how your brain works?
How your brain.
I did. I really lost my point that quick.
And I'm the old person.
But but yes, long term, I don't think it serves Republicans well. Oh, I remember what I said. I said either on Cameron's show or here that people like stability.
Yep.
As a human need.
Yeah.
That
is
humans like stability.
Yeah.
And one of the things that Trump has continued to do is destabilize us.
Everything.
Agreed.
Nothing feels stable. And I think regardless of where you land, on what aisle or whatever, or if you don't even, there's still a craving of stability, stuff I can understand, stuff I can, and he's taking us further and further in the deep end where it feels like we're all drowning. And I think that's going to bite Republicans in the butt. I think it would serve, especially Indiana Republicans, well, because we have real conservatives here.
Mm-hmm.
Real conservatives who really look at the cost of things, who really want small government, right? Because this is a whole lot of not small government.
Yeah.
I think they need to stand strong to those roots, because I think those are the things that are going to outlive Trump in this whole.
Because that was one of the first questions: who's going to pay for it?
Period.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to pay for it?
Yeah.
Who's going to pay for it? So there's that. I have those links down there. Didn't want to belabor that too much because that's being covered nationally. I mean, you can find out all kind of information from all kind of sources, but did want to talk about that briefly here. Another one that we're probably going to talk about briefly is the data center on the south side. So for those of you who have been following this,
Google it.
Literally. So we found out in July that Google is behind the data center due to a slip up. During an interview. You didn't know that? Yeah. So it was a slip up during, they were like, they were talking about some of the things with the plan, and they were like, and one of the people representing the plan was like, if the Google team is okay with that, we'll blah, blah. Yes,
hilarious.
It was a slip up in July. That was
hilarious.
the initial write up. I think.
I mean, if you Google the team.
Man. So
I didn't like the fact that so many people involved on the back end. I know that there were NDAs, but it just kind of gets to me when people or political leaders or whomever are involved in these things, and then the general public is clueless as to what is it and who is it.
Yep.
If you read that, and I'm sure the article will be tagged with it, but you'll find that a lot of people knew. But a lot of people kept it under wraps, and the people that vote for people,
because I don't think they were supposed to know.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah. The community was clueless.
Well, that's
and their attorney is still saying that he can't confirm.
And he's representing two different places.
He's representing two different data centers, but also he's also the one. He's also the one representing the Wawa they're trying to bring over here too.
For real?
Okay, FYI. Because he's with what's the name of the law firm? The one that starts with a B. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I can't remember that one.
Y'all.
There's so many law firms.
No, but it's the big one, y'all. Come on.
Well, Ice Miller and Taft and
no, Ice Miller, Taft, and what's the other one?
Fagery Baker.
Not Keller.
Fagery. Yeah, he said Keller.
What was the one that Thomas Cook was at?
Oh God, don't bring him up.
Yeah, it might be that one.
It probably is that one. I don't think that
Man, I suck. Okay, whatever. But anyway, y'all's thoughts on the data center. I've had people reach out to me.
I mean, obviously, it's going to be bad for not just people in Franklin Township. It's going to be bad for everybody in Central Indiana. It's going to raise the cost of your electricity, probably your water too.
Water's definitely on the list.
So like we're all going to pay the price for this, but I think somebody else has already paid the price for their stance on this.
I don't know.
Counselor Michael
Paul Hart.
I believe that he was
ousted because of it.
Yeah, because his position has been public for a while that he was standing with his community, and I'm not a big Michael Paul Hart fan, but I do agree with he's standing with his community. His community's
Barnes
very clear.
and Thornburg, y'all. Barnes and Thornburg. Yeah. We know Barnes and Thornburg.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Ooh, it took me too long to figure out. Yeah. But Barnes and Thornburg.
They're right there in Washington and Meridian.
Yep, right there.
Corner. That's where he's from. And obviously, I don't know if y'all know, if y'all are part of any kind of neighborhood organizations, we get all the zone changes and all the, variances and all the crap like that. You'll see, I get several Barnes and Thornburg envelopes a week. People representing them, and that's big money. They got money.
I mean, and getting that bread, definitely with who he's representing.
Yeah. So yeah, I think
is he a partner?
I've shared no.
If not, he soon will be.
I don't think so, because I think these two might fail. Even though it passed a vote.
I don't know that it's gonna fail.
Metropolitan whatever development board.
A secret vote. That's what got me. I was like, what? Yep. We still can do secret votes in 2025 for public.
Yes.
Public projects?
That's ugly.
So they did a secret vote. It passed. However, it is in Michael Paul Hart's district, and he can call it down to the full council and they can vote on it, which is why you should reach out to your counselors. I think as an elected official, you have to err on the side of your residents. You have residents coming out in these kind of numbers to oppose this. You have to respect and honor their wishes. I'm glad to see Michael Paul Hart do that. I think Andy Nielsen, my counselor, has come out against it.
Jesse Brown, of course.
John Barth.
John Barth.
And
there might have been another one, but I can't remember.
I want to say it's 5. I want to say it's 5 of them that came out against it, and
5 out of 25.
Right. So make sure y'all are hitting up. You know,
I don't
your
know
counselors.
It's just amazing. I don't want to do that. Never.
I mean, I don't know that it's not going to pass.
Somebody, I don't know either, but I'm saying I think it's definitely going to be called down to the full vote, and I think you guys should be reaching out to counselors to say, yo, you guys should stand with those neighbors, the people who are actually going to have to deal with it being in their community.
I don't know, but
it doesn't bring significant jobs.
But please
It
be
does
clear,
not,
you all are going to deal with it when the prices go up on your utilities.
Well,
We all going to deal with it. It
That's
don't
true.
have to be next to you.
that's
When-
true.
When you scrambling to pay that light bill and that water bill because it
That's
done
true.
gone up, it'll feel like it was next to you.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
And
next to your pocketbook.
And two, it continues to set a precedent too of allowing these kind of properties. This will become another property that they can point to and say, hey, well, we've done this over here and it's XYZ for whatever next data center comes up. Like, and somebody asked me personally about data centers because we have one actually out here that I toured literally this year. So Old Eastgate Mall is actually a data center now. And I toured it this year. And I mean, and it's cool to see and like to know that, you know, so much data comes through, you know, the Far East Side or whatever. I will point out though that was an old mall that nobody really had any ideas for. It's already heavily commercial. There's not really a lot of houses around there. It was, you know, the only things next to it is the police department, a gym. Like, you know, like it's not
nothing.
There's nothing really around there significant. And I'm not even entirely sure that I don't remember seeing anything about us having to allow it. So it was probably zoned already, probably close to what they needed. They probably didn't have to make many adjustments. So,
But I don't think it takes as much resources for that data center as what Google.
as what Google is doing. No, for sure. So I think, but yeah, I'm always going to err on the side of that community and the people it's going to directly impact.
Scary part about it is those companies that large have the ability to influence so deep.
Yeah.
And, you know, when we look and you talk about full counsel and all that kind of stuff, I think that you'll have to really dig deep to see if any influence is being pushed, because I think it'll happen. I think that there will be some underground influence that comes by.
You think this is big enough for that?
I do.
Google.
I do.
Google. Oh man.
No,
I
I'm
do.
saying, do you think this data center
absolutely
Yeah.
for Google having it
Absolutely.
at this particular place, do you think it's big enough
I
deal
mean,
for them?
if they did it, I mean, you're talking about months and months of probably research and
you're
and
saying
site
if they
plan.
got to this point, then
Yeah,
it
like
probably
that.
is
They've
smooth.
been, and they probably felt that they could get it through.
Well, it's all the more reason to reach out to your counselors, y'all. Fortunately, mine's already on the right side of things. But reach out to yours. I will reach out to the ones that I have relationships with, of course. But you all definitely
So it says
start
in
to apply pressure.
2025, Google plans to spend $75 billion.
$75 billion.
Generative artificial intelligence,
Wow.
with much of that going to build data centers.
$75 billion.
And they said it would only employ, like 50 people?
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, like that's
So
probably
when
the
you think
maintenance
about the-
people
the
that can fix this stuff.
So when
Yeah.
you think about the necessity or their mind of what necessity is, yes, being able to get in to be able to push influence is definitely important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You don't put 75B on the table.
Yeah, and not
Yeah.
have a whole team out there
Yeah.
that's gonna get stuff done.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I think we should definitely put our foot down. They always make an example out of us. We should make an example out of this and let them know they can't just come in here and bully folks and do what they want just because they got some money or their name is Google. So y'all should y'all should talk to your counselors.
And we are just so easy to buy, so I'm already scared.
I
The
know.
prices are lower in Marion County than anywhere else.
When I seen it go through, first of all, when I saw it was a secret vote, and I saw that it passed, was 8-1.
8-1.
8-1. I was like, yo, it wasn't even close.
So we're easy to buy.
They don't care at all.
Cadillacs and
then, when I start to when I'm advocating, I start to get on the ropes or desperate, I start to figure out like, well, are we getting something out of this? Is
They be
Google
like, "Not
promising to
you."
bring something that's
Look,
actually going to employ people around
Like,
here?
not you.
Is they
Right.
That's
Look, I've long said that like all this Jesse Brown hate, they need to be working with him to form a union so they could at least get their bribery numbers up or something. Like have him help. Like, you don't have to agree with everything, but have him help y'all start a union so y'all can start getting paid more for this.
Boy, because y'all need to get it together. You ain't getting paid enough, apparently. I don't know. But anyway, all right, that's it for the data center talk. Of course, I have one link there. Because I felt like it covered it pretty well.
No, I think that's a good one.
I think it's a good one. Okay.
I do.
Okay, so I was gonna say I might find more, but that's okay. Next topic, 5, Fay Biccard, or is 6 actually now. Or no, because it's gonna be different. It's 5. Fay Biccard is so more details have come out. I actually got permission from one of the grantees that were impacted by this to share actual numbers. So Fay Biccard served as a fiscal agent for at least 2 organizations that received
at least 2 that I know
innovation grant funding, and between those 2, over $100,000. Like 100, well over, close to 200,000. Yeah, close to $200,000 was spent of their money, and
not by them,
by Fay Biccard. And then
can you
and the
say
split was like 50-some thousand and 120-some. I mean, 50-some thousand, like 120-some thousand. So it was
it's a lot of money missing.
So did they hold on? Is it? So we've been permitted to say where it went?
I don't think. Do we know?
What they said the mistake was
got put in the wrong account. You know how these things happen.
Got put in the wrong account. Got spent down on payroll.
There we go. Now we hitting the same.
These
thing.
Things happen. All
I'm like,
the time, right?
But I'm like, it went out in payroll.
Mm-hmm.
That is problematic.
Yeah.
Well, taking somebody else's
payroll and
taking somebody else's money is always crazy.
And put it in your pocket.
Crazy.
So you literally took someone else's money and put it in your payroll.
Yes.
It's crazy work.
Yes. So there's been articles talking about the way that their staff grew from, what was the numbers?
45 to 120 on staff.
45 to 120 in how long?
Oh, since
3
the pandemic.
years.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 years.
And then you went from 600 and some odd thousand to 5 million in what was it?
Which a lot of
after tax income. 5 million. And then you ended up being short on the money.
This happened. By the way, this latest money thing happened after the leader was gone. So this is also not just the leader thing. This is also the board thing. This is a whole group of people.
You have to look at everybody.
Some of it started. It started before, but it finished after.
Yeah, but I mean, still, there's a lot of folks that should be held accountable for it. Is my point.
Yes,
it's more than just
there's a lot that went on, and I think people. There are 2 ways to look at when you have go from 45 in staff to 120 to manage 300 families. Them 300 families must be getting the best care in the United States of America.
United States. Think about it. You 300 families and 120 people. That they have to be getting the best care in the United States of America, hopefully. But that, to me, either that's happening or we have a fundamental problem with philanthropy. And I'm not just looking at Fay Biccard. I'm looking at the funders who set up this system of insanity. The fact that we can't just give money to poor people. If you had actually that $5 million budget, if you actually gave the $5 million budget to those 300 families for a year, they probably wouldn't have been needed to come back to Fay Biccard. I mean, literally, you would have seen homeowners instantly.
So
you would have, what I mean?
Most of them would have got it together. And I'm not going to say all of them, but most of them probably could have. But it's because we don't trust. We can't give money to people. We can't trust poor people that we'll spend this much money to go have all these people manage them or whatever was going on.
So according to the Mirror Indy article, in 2020, the center reported employing 45 people and having a net revenue that year of $103,000, right? So $650,103. 2 years later, the center reported employing 105 people, from 45 to 105 in 2 years, with a
60.
net revenue of $5.3 million.
So
And when did it go? It went up to 120. At
what
one
year
point.
was that? What year was
Then-
that? When it was the 500, 5 million?
So you went from 2020,
Uh-huh.
45 people.
Uh-huh.
2 years later, you went to
So-
105 people. Then in 2023, the most recent filing available, the center employed 120 people, but spent $1.5 million more than it made.
Oh my goodness.
So
So it sounds
There's-
bad. It's what so is.
it's
This is insane.
no,
This
it's
is
very
insane.
it's very bad. It's very bad. I do want to point out, and I'm not shooting them bail. I do want to point out though, a lot of organizations' income and stuff went up, like with the whole frenzy with COVID.
The ARPA dollars.
The ARPA dollars. So a lot more money got injected to a lot more places.
That's
so,
not an injection. That is I don't know what that is.
I think it
I
was
would
an
love for
injection.
my.
BBL.
I would love for my.
That is a
that's
BBL.
That is a big loan.
A big loan.
Yeah, that is a true BBL. Sign my bank account up, because if you go from 650,000 to 5.3 million, come on, that is a BBL.
That's a BBL.
Big bank loan.
A big bank loan.
I'm so sick of y'all. We don't got time to go this long on this stuff. Because I want us to give more time to our last topic.
Okay, come on,
But
let's go. Check it out.
these are going to end up being rundown things, and I don't want them to be. Okay, next one, really quick. Anyway, was that it for Fay Biccard?
That's all we got.
Okay, it's
For now.
evolving.
For
It's
now.
evolving.
For now.
As we can share more,
It's a
we will
lot.
share more. Okay. Next one up, man. Police chases in Indy. So obviously we have talked about this consistently on this podcast. Wildstyle actually called this situation before it happened.
Yeah.
Incredibly tragically and unfortunately. But then he came back to share about Kevin McKelvey, who ended up passing from injuries from being hit with a Carmel police chase, but here in Indy. And that even went against, now we know, their own policy.
Apparently, it seems like they were chasing this person for a warrant. Like that they were wanted for something. They didn't show up to court. So they chased them all the way.
And it was a stolen car.
Was it stolen?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it says like a Kia or something stolen.
And they chased him all the way to 65th and Meridian and caused an accident that ultimately killed Kevin McKelvey. He was picking his son up from martial arts class or something and was minding his own business in Indianapolis and Carmel police.
And he was hit head on, right?
Yeah.
I think he was hit head on.
And
then
spun out. And
hit other cars and stuff. Horrific. Like, this is so sad. But his family is now.
his widow.
Yeah.
Widow.
His widow now is encouraging folks to reach out.
Yeah.
Like, can you give more on that?
I don't. We'll have to put the link in there.
Yeah,
but definitely talk to your, dare I say, our counselors. I mean, you've seen what I've had to deal with dealing with our public safety committee.
I don't even know. Yeah, I was going to ask too, is this a counselor's thing or is this a state level thing?
It's all of the above. Like,
Yeah.
they need to be elevated. The public safety committee ought to
Carmel
be.
police needs to be held accountable
Yeah.
for this particular instance because it violates their own policy.
I mean, the mayor, ultimately, the mayor is the mayor of Indianapolis and the county executor of Marion County. And so this does fall under the purview of city government. If there's some outside forces coming into your county, your city, and doing these things, you ultimately should have authority over that.
I just want to, in case y'all don't read it. So this is Carmel Police Department pursuit policy. It says a pursuit should not begin, nor should it be continued when the need for immediate apprehension is very low and the totality of risk from the chase to public safety is very high. That's their own policy. They violated their own policy, which is there for good reason, and this is why.
I don't
Because
think they
now
would have done
we've
this in
lost
Carmel.
somebody.
I don't think
Yeah.
this would have. We can go to Indianapolis where we don't care about them people. Where there's no type of accountability there. We'll do it there, just like
And they have an
Lawrence.
18-page pursuit policy. Wow. Oh my God, it says which is no longer available on the city's website on August 15th.
Oh,
Officer, wow.
Oh, they covering their tracks.
Yeah, don't let it happen. Don't let it happen, because next time it could be you. Now, keeping in mind, he was doing something very normal. He was not
picking his son up from martial arts class.
He's going to pick his son up. This is not anything outside of what any of us would be just out on the street doing, minding our own business, and we could be knocked off the freaking street by either a cop themselves or somebody that they're chasing. It's crazy.
And I'm sad because I did say that this was going to be a problem because I've noticed it.
I don't know.
Probably. I've noticed this is an issue. Like Indiana State Police involves themselves in chases, specifically in Indianapolis, that IMPD doesn't have their pursuit policy doesn't allow.
Yeah.
And so they've created this playing ground that makes all of you white or black, brown, yellow, whatever, unsafe. And
whether you're driving or a pedestrian.
Pedestrian,
like it doesn't matter on
you
a bike, whatever. You can get hit because nobody's, and then it is by the grace of God that the foolishness that Lawrence police did in our community didn't result in anybody's injury or death. Like so this is why we got to nip this stuff. We wanted to nip it in the bud before we got to this point.
We did.
Now we've actually lost somebody. We have to stop this before we continue to lose more people. I think one of the points I wanted to raise too is that Indiana ranks 10th in the nation?
10th in the nation. That's not good.
In these kind of incidents.
We got 50 states.
50 states.
And we're in the top
10. Yes. So use that link and please follow up with your elected officials because we need to make sure that this doesn't continue to happen. Were you about to say something?
No.
Okay. Next thing up is Greg's gonna love this. ICRC has a famous new leader.
Shout out to Governor Braun, but go ahead, man. Braun is picking the most well-known Negroes.
Have I ever seen Philip in a red tie?
Yeah.
How can I see it, Philip, if I've never seen you, Philip? Never been to Chicago, Philip?
So
that was me being Roland Martin for a minute, but go ahead.
So if you guys have been watching our podcast consistently, you know that Greg had his criticisms for Jose Evans being the leader of the civil Indiana Civil Rights Commission. That's what the ICRC is.
But he is no longer.
He is no longer. 8 hot months and he's out of here. I heard it was horrible. It was 8 hot months. I guess he took over. I think he took over in January.
Nah.
Did he? No.
I don't know if he
did. He didn't take over. I think he was in there 5 months.
Okay, 5 hot months.
There was rumors of a hostile workplace.
Hostile work environment, him doing questionable fires. And
I heard he cleaned house in there.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah.
It was rough. So they got him up out of there.
They got him up out of there.
But I feel like the bigger story is once they got him up out of there, they replaced him with
Philip. Not J. Philip Clay. Google J. Philip Clay. Actually, we're just gonna have to put that video in the link there.
Yeah, it might. That was probably gonna be the intro. I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
Yeah.
So it's probably,
okay, I like that.
The intro that y'all saw is Mr. Philip Clay. Unfortunately, I have nothing we can point to other than the incredibly ignorant article that he wrote about Black people in crime and the subsequent thrashing he received on
Roland
Martin's podcast. So or radio show.
He ran against what's his name? Mike Young last year. To be in the state senate. What's the state senate?
Okay.
And he said that one of his priorities, this is J. Philip Clay speaking, one of his priorities was to strengthen qualified immunity for law enforcement.
Cool.
And he is now running the Indiana Civil
Rights
Commission.
Cool. So this is
Mike Braun in action.
All of this to me spells a very big disaster.
It spells DEI. That's what it spells. J. Philip Clay is neither qualified or has the experience to do this. But he did not get this on merit, as if what Mike Braun says. He got it because he's the little brown beige spot on there with the beard, looking like Uncle Phil. He looks like Uncle Phil.
It's a younger version. Yeah. It's surprising to me that they feel like that Braun actually has a line that he wouldn't cross, because why didn't he just name a white person? He might as well.
Might as well.
Like, I don't.
He probably couldn't find a white person that was that anti-black.
Oh my God. There's a disclaimer
I'm sorry.
at the top of this episode.
Couldn't find one. Was like,
Oh, snap.
it's like we're not breeding them as racist as we used to be in Indiana.
Oh my God.
we're gonna have to find a token here.
Oh my God. This is what. Listen, I made this promise. Because there are some people who are attempting to vouch for this man, and so what I've committed to is I was like, yo, he does something good in this seat. We will cover it on this
He's
podcast.
gonna strengthen qualified immunity. That's what he's gonna. That's what he said he was gonna do. What if
I committed to following his journey on this podcast, so
he's gonna give all officers more civil rights.
if he strengthens qualified immunity, we'll be back to let y'all know.
Oh my God.
If he happens to do something
civil
good,
rights for every
we will
police
let you
officer in Indiana.
Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus.
All right.
I don't think that's how we protect civil rights, but
I hope he does something good. But
I hope he does something good. I mean,
there's not, but do we have high expectations?
No, we've never had high.
Yeah, because
expectations
when I
office.
just go back in history, I'm like,
I feel like it's just jokes at this point.
yeah, I don't.
But-
I've not seen a person in that position that I was like, yes.
There were people on my post. I might tag my post. There were people on my post saying that they've actually put in complaints to it and ain't heard nothing.
Good luck. Now they go send somebody to your house and beat you. Like,
Oh my God.
Stop
There's
it.
a disclaimer. That's
Boy,
wild
did I hear
it's
style.
like we're gonna teach you about civil rights. Bam.
Oh my
I'm doing complaining
God.
about civil rights.
Oh my God.
And don't contact us again.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Y'all, I feel like that interview with him says it all. The article that he wrote, the qualified,
Yeah, it was a lot.
I mean, the qualified
I
immunity thing
welcome
was last
being
year.
wrong, though.
I would love to be
welcome it.
wrong, too.
I would
And
love to see growth.
I would be the first person to say, "Hey, J. Philip Clay, like you've changed," because he definitely is what you thought he was. That he keeps saying the same thing, but he could change.
He could change. And listen, and if he does,
We'll
here to
be
talk
here to
about
say
it.
first.
But if he doesn't, we'll also be here to talk about it.
Hey,
J. Philip.
FYI. Okay, next one up. So, counsel advised to cut communication with survivors.
Stop, Greg.
So they
are incredibly incompetent.
So there's emails. There's an email exchange between Dan Boots where he reaches out to one of the survivors and is like, "Hey, would love to have your input as we're creating, new whatever." Okay. She responds probably in the way that I would respond. I ain't gonna hold you. With I will no longer continue to be re-victimized by you all. She cites the fact that she was put out of the council meeting
Drug
forcefully.
out. Her friend
Drug
fumbled.
out. Right. Out of the meeting that they attended in June. And she's just like, I don't want to be a part of this circus anymore. I get it. Obviously, I'm summarizing,
But
paraphrasing.
they could have talked to her lawyer.
Yeah. And so after that exchange, Dan Boots asks the counsel's counsel, so their legal counsel, how should they proceed? Like what should they do? What should they do as far as communication, blah, blah, blah. And the counsel advised them that nothing good is going to come from the continued communication between them and that they should just stop. That they've actually lodged a complaint, that if they have any complaints, that they should use the anonymous site that they created to
About past
submit
or
those
present people.
complaints.
Like not even talk to their lawyers. It is pretty outrageous. I could see them saying not to reach out directly to them, but to not talk to their attorneys means that you do not want any more information.
And so this is what I want to know. This is what I want to know because I'm kind of stuck on this, that I don't think it was bad advice from their counsel.
It's not bad advice from them.
I don't think it was bad advice for the counsel, and this is why. One, the survivor literally said, "I'm done with y'all," and to reach out to her anymore would feel like you're harassing her. And then two, the other side is they're not investigating this anymore.
Right.
They're now at a place where they're trying to develop a plan to move forward. And if I'm not going to speak for her, but I can imagine that unless you're talking about some hard hitting results, like some consequences, some change, stop talking to me. Like I've given you everything. She said this in the email too. They're like, I've already given you, go back to the other interviews and the other, like all the information. She gave them almost 50 pages of information, right? I think that perspective, I think what she said in that email was very much so, stop. I think what I didn't like is for the lawyer to say like, oh, nothing good comes from. I think I would have phrased it more. I would respect her wishes. And
specifically the attorney said not to reach out to Caroline Ellert.
Yeah.
Who was not in that email.
Right.
And told them not to contact the attorneys, talk to them. And if they were to ask about a constituent issue like potholes or streetlights or something, to basically almost patronize them and then check with counsel to make sure you don't get yourself in trouble. This is that investigation is not actually over. And until they officially close it out, the investigation is still happening.
Really? Because see, this was my other challenge. My other challenge with it is they made abundantly clear to us over and over and over again that that I wanted to call it Fisher Price, but Fishy Phillips were the ones doing the investigation. It was not the counselors themselves. It was Fisher Phillips, and that it was their job to reach out to talk to interview, to get everything from these survivors. And then the counsel's job was then to take this investigation and create, things from it, whether it's new policy, whatever. So that's what I'm challenged with is why I think they do have enough information that they submitted to Fishy Phillips. I think they do have enough of interviews and feedback. And I think they've burned the bridge of continuing to talk to the survivors. So I'm like, I guess I'm curious as to like, what do we want at this point? What do we want counselors to do?
I want them to be serious. I just don't feel like this is they're actually being serious. I think they're just like trying to sweep this away. Mm-hmm. My issue is just because you don't like the email you got back doesn't mean that we're not gonna talk to y'all anymore. Like it's
I think if Dan Boots had said that himself, I would agree with you.
But he initiated all that. Like he initiated that.
Yeah, but he asked how he should respond because of the way she replied, which again. My reply would have been similar.
They've done her an incredible injustice.
Oh yeah, it would have been definitely leave me alone.
I definitely.
When you get rid of Vop and Hogsett and everybody who allowed this stuff to happen, then maybe we can talk. Like that would be my response, and I feel it. Like I understand it, but I think on the flip side, their counsels like that advice, I also understand it.
But I mean, attorneys.
It's time to cut ties.
When we saw what the Fisher Phillips report is,
clowns.
Attorneys ain't about to write. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like you got what legally can be done, and you got what morally can be done. City Council needs to figure out what they want to do here, and you can't do both. Yeah, you can't do both.
The moral part has to be foundational. It has to be real. Because
you got to ask too, like, do we want to pay for a whole nother investigation?
Because you know that this one was fake.
That's becoming normal.
This investigation was fake.
And that's and how do we ensure a second one would go right? Like what? And when it's the same people doing the choosing, I don't know. Like I guess. And I
also, when it comes to legal counsel, the attorneys don't go off in some corner and go meet by themselves. They talking to other people. True. I am sure that this came down from some other person in consultation with them that is probably not on city council, or maybe is on city council.
I think the response would have been different if that initial email was. First of all, I think he probably should have got advice on how to engage or just reached out to the attorney to begin with.
He should have reached out to the attorney.
Yeah,
and Dan Boots is an attorney.
Right. See, like he should have gotten advice or reached out to their attorney to begin with to see how best to proceed in that way. I think the other thing is unless you're opening up another investigation or you're going to finish or make right the one that has went botched.
I mean, because
I think don't reach out
because that is emotionally draining.
Yes.
For them to be reached out to, but do y'all have an intention of making this stuff right? Y'all gonna like actually tell the story right this time? Like that's emotionally draining.
It's wrong.
It is the way they're being treated is just sad.
But I think what the
I'm the criminal advisor, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That is literally exactly my point.
Let me call the criminal. What do you think about this?
Of what she's looking
Y'all
at.
just kick me out.
Of what their advisors, their legal
Bob in
advisors
the back.
looking
Just hurry
at.
up and tell us what we need to hear.
I think-
And hang up on her.
And hang up on her.
Yeah. Yes.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's trash bag.
Yeah.
For
And I
real.
think
leave them people alone if you're not
leave
gonna
them
do
people
right.
alone. Yes. That's how I felt about it. I'm like, no. I don't think I would have said it that way though. I would have said it with more y'all are getting on my nerves and they have been through enough type way rather than the way that she did. But definitely I think they should leave these
Some
women
things
alone.
don't always need to be emailed. They should have. I mean,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying I'm not telling city council how to cover up stuff because Lord, y'all can't even put the lid on a pot of beans. But
the year one audit still ain't out yet.
Oh my goodness! But
We still waiting on that audit.
if that was y'all's intention, which I don't think it is,
They are
but,
poor at investigating anything.
Anything.
But, at
That's why
best,
they were
are
hiring
poor.
somebody.
so some things should be
And was bad at that.
Wasn't there supposed to be a city audit, like an audit with HR that they said came out and then it wasn't coming?
I don't know that. I think that's been 5 years and held up for 5 years.
Yeah,
now.
Wow.
it's been a long time. Yeah.
I have no confidence. I don't have confidence in their moral.
That's
moral.
and that
ability.
was the other thing that I just said. We're gonna trust the same people to choose another firm again to do another bogus investigation. I don't know. I don't see the win in this until we just have better
Stop
leaders.
spending our money wrongfully.
It's tough.
City council is incredibly disappointing.
Okay. Is there anything else? Any other points you wanted to make? I have the link there. They do have the email exchange and all of that. Yeah, and I did not have the benefit. I did not talk to them or their attorneys. So you said you did?
Who?
The survivors' attorneys.
I've talked
Attorney?
to one survivor.
Okay,
So I
okay.
chatted with him.
And did she just feel like just leave me alone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but also that there was plenty of information out there,
Right.
and
Right.
that they just wasn't on anything.
Send me some updates and some results. You know that. I mean, that's what I would be on. Okay. Last thing, but certainly not least, the city budget cuts leads to new burdens. This is a fact. So we know that the budget has come out. The mayor presented the budget and so did other offices. But for you to actually know all the details about the budget, you have to go to all of these different hearings.
And would
where
need
the
a degree to understand a lot
That's
of
a
this,
fact.
honestly.
All of these different
Understand
departments
Greek and
reporting
Latin.
what they're
that too.
doing.
Yeah.
I think overall, some of the pre-knowledge that we should have going into this is that they did have to head into this budget season knowing that they were going to have big cuts coming down from the State House, from Senate Bill 1 going through and limiting taxes and this stupid $200 credit.
Property taxes, but
Yeah.
at the same time, and I'm not defending the state also gave the cities and all the municipalities the ability to go raise other taxes to make up for that,
Yeah. So,
which did not happen.
no, our city decided not to do that.
And the mayor proudly said that we presented all this wonderful stuff without a budget increase to y'all, and then we find out and there will be no cuts to public safety, and then we find out that all of that is not true.
Not true. Not true.
Not true at all.
Not true. So I think there were a couple that were super alarming. One of the first ones is like permitting fees increases and stuff. So for those who have built a house before, like you have to get a permit to build a house, to build housing,
You get a
things
permit
like
to
that.
do anything
To
on
do
your
anything.
existing house too.
That's a fact. You got to get a permit to do anything. And they are increasing the fees of those permits. Some of them more than doubling those fees.
Mhm.
And on a surface level, looking at it, it does feel counterproductive. Like, man, we're going to make it harder to build housing and we need housing. On further inspection, you see that even with those raises, we're still competitive regionally.
Yeah, it's about, but here's the thing, that is a tax. Mayor Joe Hogshead has raised taxes on housing. He hasn't raised taxes on other stuff, and then we're gonna find out that he's cut other places like public safety.
Yep, public safety. Also, this was alarming to me too. $100,000 from our immigrant legal services. Which again, like, I don't think there's been a time in recent history where our immigrant community has been more under fire.
They are creating a concentration camp down the road from us to put these people. So with this budget cut and the Office of Public Health and Safety, and after the mayor said that public safety would not be cut, now our brown citizens or our brown residents or brown neighbors are going to be rounded up in the concentration camps, probably at
ones that we would consider black and brown, because our Haitian community is in
we
there.
Got Africans,
we have
brown,
Africans in there. So it's and for that instance, we have our Asian community, especially our South Asian community.
Burmese.
Like yes,
and my full government name looks like I could be Haitian. So if y'all. If I come up missing or something, I might be at the Speedway Slammer or something.
Thanks God, we're coming with the Glocks,
man. I like this.
Y'all
this
ain't
is
taking wild style.
This is where it's going.
Yeah, no, it is, and I mean again, I feel like we cut critical places that we need, where we actually like need funding. I was happy to see though that we got $10 million into our homelessness initiative. I know, and it's not enough.
And now we're gonna need 30 because Hogshead has cut the eviction prevention program.
Yep.
So now we have a quicker and swifter pipeline into homelessness. So we'll eat up that $10 million in no time.
Cool. So, and that's, I mean, ultimately, what's interesting is that sometimes when I look at this and I try to figure out, well, what's really different with us being a Democrat city in the way that we cut funding and allocate funding.
The gaslighting.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for saying it, sir.
Like Republicans wouldn't pretend to care.
Exactly. Preach,
and
sir.
Democrats are like, you don't see that we're caring?
Yeah.
Like, sure, more of you going to be evicted, but we're going to house like more than what we did before, which wasn't enough.
The statement is Democrats kiss you after they screw you. Republicans just screw you.
And I don't think
done, we want to be kissed.
And I don't think everybody. I don't think everybody. People are individuals. I think regardless of which side of the aisle you're on. People are individuals, but there is a lot of kissing going on.
Ooh, that made me feel so good.
There is. There is.
Hold on, did I just get played?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
I think the fact that we got TAP though, like in the budget and stuff.
I was kidding. Most of it's getting cut. They do not know how much the Bar Association is putting in there. The ARPA dollars are gone, and so the program is likely getting gutted.
Really?
I think one of the ugly points that I see in the budget that we really don't want to address is why they kept the crime prevention money so where it is. They'll get $5 million this year, $2 million next year. I think the crazy part about it is this. They will be able to sell a myth of that group being able to condense crime when the true thing is gentrification.
Yeah.
But they keep it on the books, so it's the fall guy.
And they're like...
So they'll look and say, look, it worked.
Yeah,
but it won't be nobody in the community.
Yeah, you're going to find out the stories get even more elaborate.
Exactly.
Like, they were able to kill more crime with less money.
And that's the only reason they're still on the budget. is because when it's all said and done, and by the time this town is gentrified beyond beyond it looking like Indianapolis, they'll use it and then it'll be dead. And then they'll say, that's what made it happen. No longer needed.
There are white women sunbathing on Yandy's right now.
It's
you
a
gotta
dog
talk about
running, looking at a brother like, what are you doing in my neighborhood? Right.
my granddaddy talked about he had a P-shake house over there and he used to pay a woman to sit in the phone booth and answer the phone on Yandy's because he had a doctor writing narcotics prescriptions for him.
Oh my God.
That's how gentrified it is now. You got white women sunbathing. And I witnessed it.
It's real.
And
It's real.
I think
We don't realize the strategy of this. The optics look great, but
it's all about optics.
All about optics.
I don't even think the optics look great though.
I don't either, but I think that
don't
when
even
we
think the
realize
optics
that
look
you're
great.
only in this position as a tool for them to get where they're going and utilizing that tool. Like,
I think
it's nothing for us to waste $7 million to basically say that you basically helped us remove all your own people so that we can take it over. This is the truth.
You know how I think about this? I think about, like, let's say you have an underlying disease that causes you to have sores, right? And because you have a sore, you put antibiotic, you put, a Band-Aid on and stuff for the sore, but there's an underlying disease that's causing the sores. And with elevation, even with a lot of our homelessness efforts, with a lot of stuff, I feel like what's happening is we've just gotten in this Band-Aid cycle where it's just everything is Band-Aid solutions. Nothing is treating the underlying condition. And the problem is do we need Band-Aid solutions? Yes, because there is immediate threats. Because if that sore gets infected, now I have a new thing, right? So should we keep with the Band-Aids? Yes. Don't get rid of our Band-Aids.
So you can give me the real help.
Right. But give me the real help too.
And we don't get the real help. We get Band-Aids.
And we don't, all we get is Band-Aids. That's the problem.
I mean,
you only have a clinic, not a hospital.
And we're cutting the prevention. Like, you know how much more money it costs to rehouse somebody after they've got evicted and they're homeless.
Exactly.
Yep.
And we're going to cut the eviction prevention program.
So what happens then, Wild South? Then that turns into what? Crime.
Yep.
With more crime. That $10 million that you had for homelessness. Now you find out, man, we're more in the hole than we were before.
So when we look at the budget, do we ask this question? Because I think we never really think about this. Who gets the majority of the budget?
The police.
Thank you, sir. So if you know the police get the majority of the budget, then there's an intention for there to be a creation of what? Crime.
And you know what? This budget is going to help keep the police busy.
There you go. They're going to be real busy with this budget. This is the stuff we don't pay attention to, but it's such a strategy. And everybody looks at this and we cheer and we clap, but we say, oh, they're doing blah, blah, blah. But if all of a sudden I'm evicting more people, if homelessness is on the rise, then I also know that crime is too. Therefore, it's like, this is a game.
It is a game.
What does it look like?
Tired of playing.
What does it look like for a leader, for a mayor to come in and say, you know what, we're going to focus on these three things. We're going to put everything into these three things. Like, we're going to solve just these three things.
Less $600 million jail complexes, less $600 million hotels, or maybe you could have financed the hotel and financed affordable housing.
What would be those top three things though that you think?
It's going to have to be affordable housing,
right?
Getting in with a real eviction program, like investing that, and also getting control of the Marion County Health Department, who has allowed landlords for years to run amok in this city and keep people in squalor. And at one time, the Marion County Health Department and the health and hospital was a part of the eviction problem because you'd call them because you had mold growing in your apartment, and they would evict you.
And that's what when I've been thinking about this budget stuff and when I've been talking about it, like, those are some of the challenges that I've been thinking of in my mind. Is just like, we've gotten ourselves in such a pickle and so many people are dependent on certain services and stuff now that it's almost like we have to snatch the crutches away from somebody else to serve. You know what I mean? Like what I'm saying, like how do we get out of this pickle?
So this is I'm glad we're here now, because to know what I've always fought is now on the table. I've always said that the people who believe they're helping have truly become agents of status quo work.
Yeah.
And everything that's now being stripped, because their job was to keep you on the nipple and not get you to the point of being self-sustained. Mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden these organizations are going to go away because they're not going to get the money.
They don't have the
They're going to make more rules to make you hurt more. So all of a sudden we're going to fund certain things for when this whole wave, this is a tsunami.
It is a tsunami
of wrong stuff about to happen. Mm-hmm. And all these people who were so used to getting this Band-Aid help are now going to have to fend for self. And it is going to create a wave of something we've never seen because we didn't utilize the funds to become self-sufficient. We utilize this. We start calling advocacy and activism status quo stuff. And now it's here to haunt us, and we're not going to know what to do. Most of these people who claim to be advocates and activists, they're going to have to figure out how to work because they ain't going to have the resources to do anything. And when it's all said and done, it's like you should have been fighting the same people who were giving you the grant. If you really thought something was going to change without you changing the rules, now you got to find out because now the rules are stronger than ever.
We have been... This mayor's administration has gone on without vision from just getting from one crisis to the next.
Yeah.
And now the tsunami is coming.
It is.
And we all we have is Band-Aids. We don't have any type of prevention, nothing to go help people actually be healthier, like literally healthier.
Agreed. It is. I mean, when you think about just when you realize that 7 out of 10 Black people rent in this city, and you realize what rent looks like in this city,
it's outrageous.
You realize that a lot of people are going to have to leave this city. And then, and we don't, I just wish we thought so like, I wish we had the mentality to be like, just skeptics and be like, this is some diabolical stuff going on. Because now all of a sudden you look and it's almost like if you really think deeply about it, we've probably, unless it happens the next time, we've probably missed the gap to ever have a person of color in the seat of mayor because you're going to lose the majority of those people in this city.
Really?
The affordability of Indianapolis is through the roof.
No. I'm saying you think that we missed the gap on having a mayor of color? I don't think so.
I think that when you look and all of a sudden you say 7 out of 10 are renters and you look at what we don't have a cap on and all of a sudden eviction, there's no help to stop evictions. And all of a sudden all these people have to move. Where are they going to go? They're going to have to go outside this city. This city is not affordable for the average Black person.
It might be an exodus out of here.
It's going to happen. It's going to be a mass
several cities, but our things are critical mass. This is critical mass.
It's bad.
Yeah.
And I think that unless you do something, and unless you get a person who is willing to say that I'm going to help natural citizens of Indianapolis stay, then it's over.
Yeah.
It's over. And I think that that's the plan. I think our current mayor has been the op to make it happen. And we have been the supporting.
His policies have been very effective.
Absolutely.
Highly effective.
And we have danced with him. We have clapped with him. We have watched offbeat drunken Cupid shuffles with him. And now all of a sudden we still shaking fans with him. And we're going to have to leave this place with our fans.
You're going to be homeless. Some of us are going to be homeless soon enough.
There's so many of us. This is what I'm curious about. There's so many of us that are so intelligent and know this stuff. Why can we not implement a counter plan?
Because you're going to get abused. You walk into the land of Greg Merriweather and you get yourself abused and exiled and you live in a cage or a cave like Luke Skywalker. The Jedis have to flee, right? Who is it? The Empire. The Empire calls the Jedis to flee.
And the funny thing is, we call them the Empire all the time. I make Star Wars references all the time, and the Hogshead administration doesn't understand Star Wars, so sometimes I get questions like, what are you talking about? Like,
it's real. The minute you come up and you say, man, this is wrong, all of a sudden you find that there are people who look like you and
I'm saying, how do we, on the outside
I don't
of it,
know.
collectively implement our own plan?
Voting. I hate to say voting, but it's some of these folks got to get voted out.
I think to
That's
a
a
degree.
fact.
I think it's that to a degree, but I
That's
think
a
that there always has to be a street level to it.
Yeah.
And I think that here's the other thing. You have to say, okay, let's say voting. That's one part
That's
of it.
one part.
There
not
has
the
to be
whole
a street
thing.
team.
Right.
Here's the biggest part that I think we miss is you have to protect the people who oppose the empire.
Right.
We do not protect those people.
Right.
Those people get mistreated, exiled, left
Right.
out. They're nowhere to be found.
So we need
Their
to-
voices are gone.
But
the
we
whole
need
nine.
to elevate some people who can protect, because that's the other thing.
Agreed.
The people who are willing to protect don't have the position or authority to protect.
Okay.
So we need to elevate, which comes back to voting, right?
Go.
We need to
Mhm.
elevate some people that have the position and authority to protect.
and then
right?
hold everybody accountable. Starting with your
I
council.
like that too. Then there's then it goes into there's an educational piece that has to take place.
Yep.
Because here's what happens. The minute you get some people who want to run, who have the desire to help people, if they've not voted correctly, they're going to oppose you. If you've done something that they're going to oppose you in any way anyway.
Right.
So at that point, you have to realize that these people will fight you
yes.
They
to
will
protect
fight.
them being in those positions.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
you got to have that down to a science to say,
Yes.
if we bring somebody to the table, they're
Yes.
literally qualified to go to war
Yeah.
and then protect them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I don't know about how all y'all feel who watch our podcast. I feel like I know how y'all feel, but I think it's time that we just organize and
It's
start
real.
working on this kind of strategy.
It's time.
It's
It's
we
past
have
time.
to. Yeah,
We're behind the eight ball.
I
It's
mean, we're
past
hurting
time.
as a city right now.
Yeah.
It's past time for us to pull our money and resources together, and then also decide that somebody doesn't have to be perfect, but we need to be able to throw our weight behind somebody who can be effective.
Because y'all going to look up and see me in Mississippi.
Like that's better.
I'm just saying, it's like prepare for poverty because at the end of the day, the way that things are happening here,
Mhm.
It's rough.
it is going to be hard.
It is.
I think
It is.
I saw something. I want to say it was online, MSNBC or something. It was something that showed what it costs to live comfortably in like 50 cities in the country. And I think to live comfortably in Indianapolis, you had to make at least like $77,000 to actually live comfortably. That's not our people.
That's not our people.
Our median income is under 40.
Yeah. I was gonna say 30
So
something.
when you
yeah.
and that's household.
yeah.
Yeah,
So when you
household
look
income.
at that,
Yes.
it is concerning to me.
And you don't have to take our numbers. You can go to Indy Vitals or
please,
whatever.
go
You
look.
can pull it
Yeah,
up
you
by
can look it up.
neighborhood.
Go look.
For the Far East Side is probably one of the blackest places in the state. You can look us up. I think our median income out here is like 33, 35,000.
Yeah. So
something
when
like
you
that.
look at that, you realize that we are creating a city that is based on prominence.
Mm.
And it's scary to think about it, but there's going to have to be either something that changes inside that causes us to get some leverage, or we're gonna have to move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's been
Yeah.
happening. I mean,
I see more people moving.
Marion
think
County
when
has
we
lost like around 400 or 500 people in population.
I
And then
just-
we got to
I
get
wanna
rid of the
point out-
predators. Here's the
Yeah.
other part.
Yes.
We got to get rid of the predators. I mean,
Yes.
and I'll say this.
Yes.
It's time for the David Muhammads to go away. Because here's what happens. We look and all of a sudden they say, I stopped crime in California. And you say, well, all the black people done moved because
Yeah.
you helped with the gentrification. You didn't stop it in Oakland. Them people had to move.
They had to move.
And all of a sudden you get all this credit and you take this snake oil thing on the road and sell it to everybody. And only thing that's happening is gentrification. So it's like those people have to go as well because they're selling something and they're causing us to believe that crime is actually going down. But the only thing that's going down is our faces in these places in our
Ooh.
city. So we have to fight that. And until we fight that, it's going to be the same old thing. Don't come in my town and that I've lived for 52 years and tell me what needs to be done and then jet off somewhere else and sell the same BS.
Yeah.
And the only thing that happened is I had to look at my relatives and friends move away simply because we didn't stop anything from changing.
Or die.
Or die.
Or die.
I mean,
Because that's I've
Quite
lost,
literally.
lost a number
we've
of people
lost so
this year
many,
and
so
last year.
many
and
people.
the year
I'm telling you,
before,
so
and-
many people, just like when we talked about the data centers, so many people are on board with this plan that we don't know.
Yes.
But they
Yeah.
look just like us.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
They know the
I
drill.
agree.
Yep. That's true. And I mean, and part of that, we don't get to know these things until we continue to push for transparency.
Yep.
We continue to push so that we know and can be educated. You know, one of my criticisms, I haven't shared this with them yet, but I will before this episode comes out. 4 of the East Side counselors had a town hall last night, and there was questions. There were some good questions, but I think every single time I see like one of these like listening sessions or town halls or whatever, what you see a whole lot of is our people are not educated, and we just don't know enough to ask real quality questions or to really dig into things, or sometimes even to fully understand and articulate what our concerns and priorities are. And one of the challenges through that is I think that like we need to take a step back and start with educating people. Educating people so that we can have these so when these platforms come up, we have more constructive and effective dialogue than just, the general blase stuff.
But part of it is that specifically, and we know this to be a fact, that some of our counselors miseducate the people about what their roles are, about what the city council does, and what its rights and responsibilities are itself. And they'll do it in an email.
Ooh.
That's true.
Not just in person.
Sounds like Sunday morning.
That's true.
Educated public is dangerous to a bad politician.
Exactly.
That's a fact.
An educated public is dangerous to a bad politician.
That's
An
a
educated group of parishioners is bad business for a corrupt pastor.
We made it an hour and 43 minutes.
I knew it was coming.
Until he mentioned
Don't
the
nobody
black
want
church.
y'all reading nothing. At the end of the day, an uneducated public is a victory to a predator.
That's a
Yes.
And at that point, and here's what's bad. That's why they empower uneducated people.
fact. Yeah. Ooh, we.
That's why you go get certain
Ooh.
activists and advocates who don't know the rules to the game, and all of a sudden they become the defender of poor behavior or poor leaders.
Ooh.
And they get to be on TV. They get to be on the radio simply because they are the messengers of bad stuff. And then we back them because we don't know any better. And then when you get 3 wild people up here to say something that opposes, they protect it and don't even understand that they are protecting their own demise.
Because that's
Preach.
It's thick. It's thick but accurate. I mean,
Get the camera off, man.
because what we do, that it's
we got work to
thick,
do.
but it's true. Yeah, and that's I hope that you all will share this information with folks because I'm telling you, this kind of thoughtful exchange and dialogue has to happen. Like it has to start in our communities so that we can begin to start thinking and identifying, seeing things differently. We have to be able to look at these plans and say, this is awesome BS, like, and not just it be a few of us that look like, oh, we're just disgruntled or angry.
Yeah,
or-
because they
or
always gonna
whatever,
pull
or
that.
just want to criticize,
That's
or
right.
you're just, whatever. And it's just like, no, I had a conversation after the meeting last night where I was going through and somebody was mentioning like a bunch of different folks. They're like, I'm like, they're trash. They're trash. And they're like, and it basically got to a point like, who's not trash? And I'm like, that's a shorter list.
Yeah,
That's a
much
short-
shorter.
A much shorter list.
We can get
and,
through that one quick.
and it's just, and that's just in all.
Truthfulness. It's
That's-
all honesty.
That's just
It's the facts, sis. It
Yeah.
is.
It is. And I think one day we should have more constructive conversations about how we can make this kind of thing materialize
Yeah.
and make it real. I think just for a starting point, because I know people are going to see this and start to reach out and say, hey, I'm down. I want to do this thing too, and blah, blah, blah. And I love that. I want you to know, though, we do not all have to agree. We don't have to be your favorite people for you to be on board with a plan of how to elevate and make things better for our people. So I just want to throw that
Yeah.
out there because that's the first hurdle that we always have in organizing. As soon as you bring people together, oh, I don't like that person, so no. And we have to get over it. You have to get over it.
What's the second hurdle?
Huh?
What's the
Whose
second?
name's gonna be on it?
No.
That's the
not
second one to me.
I'm gonna tell you what the second hurdle
What's
is.
the second hurdle?
There's a movie. It's called Judas and the Black Messiah. The second hurdle is by the time you start the meeting, there's already somebody there who is infiltrating, who is going to tell and go back and tell everything that's happening.
I don't care.
That
I'm not
is
gonna
true.
lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. For the kind of people that we would need to organize for this kind of thing, that could
Then-
not stop those people.
Yeah, it's not
You
going to be
see what I
effective.
mean? Because
but they gonna infiltrate.
yes,
Yeah, they will.
They will
Yeah.
attempt to infiltrate, and we just have to be. We got to be ahead of
But
that
you know,
game.
when you organize it around truth.
Master Joe, they over there.
Yeah. I mean, and that goes
you
on.
want them to sleep in a big house? Yeah.
That. You
Who's
ready-
that
as long
nigga on
as you
that
ready
nag?
to- As long as
That's-
you're ready
yeah.
to burn the sheets and everything.
Facts.
Facts.
There's gonna be, but this is the thing. We just plan for that. Some of y'all are gonna be bought and sold, and we get it and we know.
Yeah.
The thing is to have a solid group of core people that can't be.
Yeah.
You know, I don't need a lot. We just need a solid core
I
of people
agree.
who can. And you're looking at 3 who haven't been yet.
Yeah.
You know, so
And don't think they haven't tried.
Right.
and they have
They
tried.
have not made me an offer that was good enough yet.
Yeah.
And
I don't think they have
have
not tried. They have tried.
So that's, I mean, listen, we need to get organized. This podcast was one of the first steps in that, was educate and make sure people know about this stuff, having these conversations openly that we often have behind closed doors,
Yes.
right? Or on
Yep.
phones or whatever, in text messages, and having them out here. This was the first step, but I think pretty soon we're ready to take a step. And we have to start working toward those things. So we're at our rundown. We're gonna get through this quick because I do not want this podcast to go to 2 hours.
Okay.
I thought it was gonna be quicker than this. Okay, first rundown thing. Former IMPD officer on trial for raping a domestic violence victim. So this
disgusting.
he's disgusting.
But this used to go on quite often. It's what I always remember with IMPD
Oh,
detectives,
Lord.
and especially IPD detectives.
IPD detective. I was gonna say, God dang, wow,
Wow,
this happens
wow,
often.
for real, but yeah.
I
But
don't know. I mean, he's
he
been
re-
IMPD for a few years now. So no, it was, but more IPD days.
He responded. So he responded to a domestic violence call. Dude gets locked up. He goes back and rapes the woman, saying that she owes him something for taking care of her, basically. And then as it went on, they found out that he did this previously in
He's
2020
probably
to
done
a
it to
woman.
a whole bunch of women.
To a woman that he gave a ride to
Yeah,
after a car
after a car
accident.
accident, yeah.
After a car accident. So disgusting.
To say the least disgusting. Yeah.
Now, I will say this. Fortunately, in this case, he is a black man, so he will probably get.
Oh, yeah, they're gonna fry
they will
him.
probably get justice. We don't often see that with other ones, but here we are. The next one is a woman was tackled at Beckwith's event. So
That was pulled a VOP, the Samuel
They pulled-
maneuver.
they
But
pulled a
this was
Samuel
after She
maneuver.
had walked out, right?
She was trying to walk
They were
out,
trying to walk
and
out.
they tackled her as she was
Yep.
as she was clearly walking
They
out. and
hemmed
said
up
she was
another
leaving.
one too in the video. I have the link to that Facebook video so you guys can see that. But again, more clowns at the circus.
Can I just say this quickly to anybody who is in the public and in the public servant position? Always remember, you didn't get there on your own.
That's a fact.
Right.
The people you are attacking are the people who vote for you.
That's a fact.
And if you want to continue to be in office, I would suggest you make a change, because if not, it's like you won't be in office.
Yeah.
Not long.
Yeah, you're burning bridges.
Yeah. Next one is an Indiana woman wants to kill Trump.
Join the club now.
I was about to
Just
say,
playing.
you know what's up?
Just play it. That's terrible. That's
Y'all, when I
horrible.
wrote that out, I was like,
can't
boy,
condone
I
that.
can think of about 50 that it's probably 50.
You know, honestly, I've said this 1,000 times online. I tell people, I'd be like, take that down.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's real. Like,
Yeah.
they will come and get you.
They will come and get you. And
Yeah.
that's what happened. She made a bunch of threats online.
Yep.
She she called him she called him a terrorist and a bunch of other things, which are probably accurate to me.
Yeah.
And
The threat,
but she ended up going to DC as a part of a protest for something, and they scooped her up.
apprehended her.
And that's
They scooped her up.
another thing is like, they're watching people that are
Yeah.
active.
It's
Like
like-
if you're an activist and you're moving like they're going to use anything they can as an excuse to go
Yeah.
after you. Like Facebook posts from 10 years
Yeah.
ago probably will.
So
be
protect
in
yourself.
court. Yep.
Protect yourself and be wise. in what
Protect
you say.
yourself. They can see everything on social media.
Yep.
And then, Facebook is in their pocket. So
Yeah,
deleting probably don't help
That's fair.
No, Mark Price sending it to him right now.
ahead of time. Listen,
Yeah.
we compiled it for you.
Like, check this
Nice
one
little
out.
package.
Exactly.
Okay, and then the final thing, look, we're here. The final thing is obviously I talked about that town hall last night, but one of the funny things that came up is people were asking about the cooperation or the collaboration between city officials and state officials. And we had one counselor, Graves, actually point out that their collaboration has been terrible, namely with Bartlett. And I thought it was that actually brought to mind that, you know what, this is probably a good time to bring up the fact that over the next 2 months or so, we're going to start seeing all the announcements for next year's races, right?
Give some people a
Is
chance to move
anybody
into the
running
right
against
district.
Bartlett?
Yeah, Graves is going to run against Bartlett.
Oh,
I
he
feel like
still
that's
is?
yeah,
Okay.
I think that's public knowledge. I mean, as far as I know, I think.
I didn't know if he was still running.
I don't
Well,
know.
if he does, he should
We'll
have-
find out in the next couple months.
He should have the
The shot he took last night seemed like it.
he should have the he should do the campaign release at White Castle. 38 to Keystone.
38 to Keystone.
Do it at the White Castle.
Do it at the White Castle.
What a mess.
I'd go there.
I would go.
Give me
I'll be there with a cheeseburger. Go on, tell him, brother. Tell him what you got to
Hey,
say.
but put some seasoned salt on the fries.
Tell him what you got to say, brother. Tell him what you got to say.
So the midterms are coming up. Obviously, that's what Trump is trying to fix with all of these redistricting and stuff. So we have races for House reps coming up federally. For those of you who don't know, our Senate, they are every 6 years, our senators. So we got a good
US
ways
senators.
for them. Yeah, US senators.
senators.
We just elected them in last year. Our senators, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, so we got a good long time before we elect them again. But our House reps are up, and they're up every 2 years. That's what we call the midterms. The next is our state reps. We have state reps and state senators that are up for next year. We have our county offices that are up for next year.
The ones
So-
that nobody knows what they do.
So
Well, we might have to
trustee,
explain that.
constable, even prosecutor, though,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yeah.
Our county electeds are up next year. So make sure you guys are staying abreast, reading up on folks. As you see people announce, start to read up on them. Ask
And
them about their
ask
platform.
questions.
That's the address.
That, 'cause
Oh
but they
my
not,
God.
chances are they may not tell you the truth.
Yeah, I live over there. Where is there? Over there.
Have them invite you to dinner. That way you
Yeah, I live over there, man. Don't worry about it.
and make sure it's not an Airbnb.
Y'all, I'm ashamed to say this, but I just found out when at French Lick. So I was today years old. Okay, when I found out that you do not have to live in the congressional district that you
No.
run for,
Mm-mm.
House district. I was
'Cause
like,
that one
what?
that one lady up in Fisher, she was running for Andre Carson's seat one year. I want to say,
Yeah, you do not have to live in the congressional districts that you run for, which makes the what's-a-majig stuff even more egregious.
Tornado.
Tornado.
Oh, yeah.
Even more egregious. He could be running against Sparks,
Which he would have a better chance. of
which
winning.
he'd have a better chance of.
Mm.
Again, why Carson?
Mm.
But I'll leave it at that. So make sure you guys are keeping your eyes peeled. We'll definitely try to cover everything that we can on this podcast. But until next time, I think that's it.
I think that's it.
Peace.
See y'all. Love y'all.
Know how it is.